Women activists have applauded the Constitutional Court ruling that nullified the Anti-Pornography Act of 2014, commonly known as the Miniskirt Law. In the judgment, court based on the sections 2, 11, 13 and 15 that were perceived to be an infringement on people's human rights and discriminatory in nature. The Constitutional Court passed judgment last Friday.
The judgment of the Constitutional Court, especially because it nullifies section of the Anti-Pornography Act, which violates women's rights to dignity and bodily autonomy.
In 2014, a proposed enactment titled Anti-Pornography Act, holding other factors constant, the proposed piece outlawed wearing clothes by women, commonly referred to as mini clothes or see-me-through.
The judgment clearly questions what the objective of the Anti-Pornography Act really was.
The anti-pornography law, among others, covered a range of issues including child pornography, pornographic publications, and suggestive music videos. The pro-law activists from civil society groups and human rights activists sought legal action in the Constitutional Court, challenging what they termed as abusive and violation of human rights law.
What do you mean by an indecent show? To what extent can a person's dress code or appearance be sexually attractive or sexually enticing?
Some of the controversial sections were Section 11 and 15, whose justification seemed to be against the right to liberty, privacy, freedom of expression, which has since been nullified by the Constitutional Court. The court also found Section 2 and 13 that criminalized the conduct of indecent show too broad for justification and against human rights. It's worth recalling that after the enactment of this law, several women wearing revealing clothes were undressed in the streets by ruthless men who had misinterpreted the law.
Even the public incidents of being undressed, they continue to suffer the effects of this law in terms of being subjected to criminal arrests. You find that the law enforcement officers may not prefer that charge, but then they resort to other charges, although they did the arrest under the auspices of this particular law.
The judgment was issued on Friday by the Constitutional Court in Center for Domestic Violence Prevention, Women's Network for Human Rights Advocacy, and 7 others versus Attorney General. President Museveni ascended to the anti-pornography bill into law in 2014. Susan Nawonga reporting for UBC TV.